Hiya, Lorree here, welcome back. So today we're going to be adding some embellishments and stuff. So this is part 6, I think. I will link the other ones down below. There is a playlist of both mine and Lorree's progress making our journal, so definitely check those out if you haven't already. This is our Poundland journal, and I've got to say I'm really happy with it. It is a really nice size, it's got a lot of pages, it's got beautiful cover and our pages, and obviously we've got our pocket pages. I've got our odd tracing paper, and got some stenciling and our storybook pages. Really happy with how this has turned out. Got some doily bits here and there, but obviously it is rather plain at the moment, so I want to add some embellishments, but obviously I'm going to try and stick to the £10 supplies. I think every so often I will add other supplies, purely because I want to make this into a giveaway and I want it to be pretty. I mean, it's going to be pretty regardless, but I want to add as much little things as I can. So one of the things I want to add is this sort of writing hidden journal spot here. So, well, not here, but on one of the pages. So I did this in one of my journal with me videos, which I will link the playlist for that down below if you haven't watched those before. I highly recommend. So this was one of my journal entries where I made this little thing and it pops up and I put my journal entry inside. So this is obviously just a template, but I want to use obviously as much of the supplies that we have, so that I can basically prove to you, you don't really need all this fancy stuff. So this is the paper pad that we got from Poundland. So I'm just going to take a piece of that paper, and I'm going to put this aside. So we need a square. So I'm just going to fold this over and let it reach the other side, right at that corner, and fold it down. And this is going to be our square. Obviously we can make it bigger, smaller, well, not bigger, but if you have a larger piece of paper you could definitely make it bigger. I'm just going to stick to this size, which is this size. So I mean, you could make it smaller if you wanted to, but I'm just going to stick with this size right here. So I'm just cutting off this excess piece. Obviously you could measure it and then like trim it down with your trim board and stuff like that. I'm just going to try and use as little tools as I can. So I'm just popping that excess piece away because we do not need it right now. We don't need it at all really. So now I'm just going to open it up and I'm going to fold it in half again from corner to corner. And again I'm going to score that. If you don't have a bone folder, you can use like a credit card or any kind of card really, or like the bottom of your ruler, or just anything that's kind of flat. Don't use your scissors. A lot of people say use your scissors, but if you press too hard you can actually like knock the scissors off balance and they won't cut properly. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend using scissors, but you could use like a butter knife. That would work perfectly. So now we open it up and we're going to fold it in half straight ways. So like so, and again give it a good score. You do want to make sure you give this a good score because it's basically origami, and you want to make sure that you're going to make it easier on yourself. So now what you're going to do is you're going to fold it so that that bit that we just folded goes on the inside. So we just folded that bit and we're going to put it inside the paper, so kind of forcing it into a little triangle on either side and then push it down. And then you're going to do the same. You're going to push it down and make sure you kind of help it line itself up, and then again give it a good score. Make sure everything is nice and crisp. and we should have a little triangle with sort of like wings. Okay, so we should have a triangle with a folded set of triangles on the inside, and then we're going to take the corner, like the bottom of our triangle, and we're going to fold it into the centre. So just kind of peek it up and line it up with that centre piece, and then again score it off. And we're going to do that with all 4 of these little corners. We're going to tuck them in to the centre and make little triangles again, and then turn it round, line it up, and last one. Make sure they're obviously lined up at the bottom as well, so you don't want it to be like way up here, you want it to be right on the bottom. And then you're going to open these up and you're going to fold them back inside. Not back inside, but you're going to fold them inside on themselves. So you just want to push it in, and again give it a nice wee score to help it stay in place. And again, you're going to do that to all 4 of these. So push it in, and then on the other side, and that is basically it. And we now have our little fold out hidden journaling space. So obviously I'm not going to leave it like this, this is pretty plain. So I'm going to grab my shoe polish and I'm going to ink around all the corners and edges and stuff like that. And just make sure it's all kind of grungy and vintage style to match our journal. Some of this obviously you won't see because it'll be glued down, but still I just like to make sure it's all grungy. I'm going to go away and put stuff on all of these edges, and I will be right back. Okay, so as we got all of these nice and grungy looking. So obviously when we put it in the journal, like, we don't want this part to be seen because it's not as pretty as everything else. So obviously you could just glue it down and have it like that. But I kind of want to add a page or something to it because I want to. So we need this obviously to go around this part, so it needs to be this tall. So if I just trim that like so, and then we can fold it on the point. I'm doing that on top of this, just making life difficult for me. So fold it like that, and then we now have a really pretty picture. I might actually trim this edge a little bit because it's quite ragged from being torn out of the book. So if I do that, then I need to refold this because obviously it's going to be different now, just by like a bow here, as my dad would say. There we go. So now I just need to make sure it's lined up to the edges. There we are. And then this can slip right in there. like so. So you wouldn't see this, and then you would open it up. And this would be stuck to that bit, but you would open it up like so. So if I glue this to there, so where's my Pritt stick? So I'm just going to use a Pritt stick because it is just paper to paper. That's number one. There we go. If it's just paper to paper, you don't really need to worry about adding extra strong glue. Pritt stick is wonderful. It really is stronger than people give it credit for. And unlike, for instance, double-sided tape, it doesn't dry up and lose its stickiness over the years. I think double-sided tape only lasts about 3 years and then it dries up. Just like sellotape, I suppose. And there we go. But yeah, so if you're just doing paper to paper, Pritt stick's great for that. So I'm just going to open this up a second and give it a little score on that side too. And then we glue that, and then it all opens up. So I just need to glue this part down now. And I really just need to glue it to here, because that's pretty much as far as it goes. As long as it goes past this part, so you're not going to see that it's shorter, you're fine. Because once it's glued down in the book, you're not going to see that it doesn't go all the way, because this part will be glued to the book. So it's not a big deal that it doesn't cover the whole thing. So I'm just going to give it a little score. And obviously there's just a little bit here, that's fine. Sorry about that. But yeah, so you're not going to see that part because that's the part that's going to be glued to the page. So let's pick a page. Let's pick a page. So I don't really want it right on the front, like so. I mean, it would be pretty, but I don't really fancy having that right at the front. Maybe in the second signature, like here. Yeah, I like that there. And then you've got this stencil up in the corner as well. So I'm just, again, using Pritt stick, because again, it's just paper to paper. And I'm being very generous with my Pritt stick. I'm always very generous when adding glue. I like it to last forever and a day. Not just forever, forever and a day. Your little minion. And then again, I'm just going to go back in and give that a good old score on the inside as well. And obviously you would then be able to write here and put your whatever. And then it all folds up and hides away. And you could have even left this as a tuck spot, but I'm just going to have it as is. Let's see, what else can we add to this journal. So we've got doilies. Doilies are awesome for making things like pockets. So for instance, you'd hold it up like so. And then fold it in. again, fold it in. And we now have a sort of pocket page. So you can have it like that, or you can have it like that. It's entirely up to you. I quite like it like this. And then again, you just need your Pritt stick. I'm just going to add it to the little bits that are going to stick. And then stick it down, and then just kind of lift it up a little bit so that it's not going to stick to the back, you know, because obviously then you won't really get anything in it. And then the same on the other side. Stick it down. There we are. So now we have another pocket. Well, not another pocket, we have a pocket. So where do we want to put you? To put it on a vellum page, that would be pretty. To put it on this page, that would be nice. About here on the blank page. I think I want it on this side here. So again, just going in with my Pritt stick, making sure I get a good amount on the back here. Again, you can make this back into a tuck spot if you wanted. Generally with the doilies I wouldn't, because I think they're quite fragile. So I wouldn't want to add leave them too like open and to move about too much, because you don't want them to obviously tear. So obviously I'm just adding my glue to the back of this as well, and then I'm going to stick it down. Where's my phone folder? I don't know, but obviously I don't want these bits to close, so I'm just being very careful. Where the heck did it go? Because I'm being careful not to obviously stick these sides down with it, because they might obviously catch the glue. So just making sure everything is nice and secure. Lifting my corners, because apparently I missed those. And we now have a pocket. So that's 2 down. So now we've got, just checking to see the time, I can probably do one more. So I'm going to take some book pages, and we can make a pocket using those. That's 1. 2. 3. So I'm just going to grab 3 pages and my cutting board. And I'm just going to tidy these up so that they're all the same size. Obviously you can cut them if you want. I wouldn't make it even, I would make it a mess. So that's why I'm using my cutting board. But obviously you could use like a knife and a ruler, and you could do it that way, but this is just the way I'm going to do it. So we've got 1 page here, and obviously it's the same size as our actual pages. I just want to double check that, I think it is, but because if it is, we're going to make it a little bit smaller. Yes, so we need to make it a little bit smaller, just so that it fits onto the page. So I'm going to take it in on either side so that we've still got a sort of even amount of writing distributed onto the paper. Come on, in we go. I really actually need to put a new one of this in. Let's see. Getting a bit blunt. So now do the same here. Just bring it into the paper, the writing. Let's see now. Yep, that's fine. So obviously there's like 1,000,001 ways that you can make pockets, especially using just paper and writing paper. I'm going to actually cut that top piece off. So obviously we can fold it up. I think I'm going to cut the bottom off as well, just so all of it is writing essentially. So I'm going to do the same to the other two. So like I said, there's like 1,000,001 ways you can make a pocket. You can certainly add them like so that they go down in a sort of line, like so. But like I said, we could fold it up to about here. And then we could also take one of these and like pop it inside. And let me see. Right there. So it's set like right there, and then I'm going to actually bring it to a sort of fold. And that just adds a little bit of difference to the page. I don't like the fact that this is upside down. I'm going to glue that down rather than cut it off, because then it adds a little bit of durability. And then this is where you can like decide what you want to do. Do you want to use washi tape, which we can do because obviously we've got these washi tapes here. You can use sellotape and then go over it with washi tape, or what I'm thinking of doing is, if I can find them, because I don't know what I did with them, the embroidery and stitch it. Oh my goodness, I could not get that word there. So hold on while I try and figure out what I did with those. Okay, so found them. So I've just grabbed those and I'm going to get my needle. Come on. And my threader. And then pop that aside. So I think I'm going to go for this like peachy colour. It's got a really nice glimmer, shimmer off it. But before I do that, I'm actually going to ink it all up so that all the edges are inked. I love this for inking. This is brilliant. This just is so easy to use for inking, because obviously it's already got the ink inside it, so you're not constantly like going back to the pad to add more. It's brilliant. And it's like that perfect like vintage colour that we all look for, like our tea-dyed paper and stuff like that. It's just the perfect colour. So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you're enjoying this little sort of series. Definitely let me know if you have any ideas for the journal, because that would be cool. I'd love to know if you have any ideas on things that we could do just using the supplies that we have. There we are. So I'm going to pop this there and there. Just make sure that's nice and I forgot to do that bit there. And then I'm going to grab just a clip or two just to hold everything in place. Don't want that drying out. And I'm just going to do a whip stitch. I love using a whip stitch. I think it just adds a really nice accent to it. Obviously you could just stitch this. You could just add sellotape to the edges or washi tape to the edges. You could just glue them down. It's entirely up to you. You can obviously add little hinges inside so that you can glue them down and still have the full scope of the pocket. You don't have to obviously do what I'm doing. I just want to use the product, like the items that we've got, so that I can obviously show you how to use them if you want ideas. There we are. I'm just going to add a couple of knots in the bottom here. Maybe one more. The trick to getting the knot on the same place every time, don't move your fingers here. If you move these fingers, the knot moves, but if you keep them in the exact same place every time, it will always land on itself. So there's a wee trick for you if you're having trouble getting the knot, because that used to drive me insane. I could never get it to basically hold on to itself, like land on itself, and it used to drive me nuts. Hated it. So I'm going to come in from the back so that the knot's not going to be visible. And then I'm just going to whip stitch all the way around. So a whip stitch is basically just when you kind of curve around the edge, rather than going like in a straight line down. You literally just go, you're kind of hugging the edge of whatever it is. So in this case I'm hugging the edge of the paper. So I'm basically just going around and poking through the back, and then going round again and poking through the back. It's a very simple but very pretty stitch in my opinion. And it just, I think it just adds, I don't know, something nice to the page, Yeah, too shaky. So obviously when I get to the bottom here, I can either continue to going round, which will obviously shorten my pocket, but it will give the nice style, or I can cut it off and just go straight to the other side, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I think I'm just going to keep going. because I'm going to kind of keep it, like, I won't bring, like, I've got it quite far out here, and that's just so that when you're going in and out of the pocket, it doesn't tear the page. But for this bit, I don't need to, so I'm just going to go quite close to the edge, and that way it's not going to take too much of the pocket away. I'm also making them slightly wider apart. So obviously I could take this all the way around and make it like a full-on decoration. I mean, I could have obviously whip stitched here as well. Which would have been nice. I'm just going to kind of try and get through that last little part of the pocket, and then just above it. And there we go. So I'm now going to kind of come down around the other side and go through a couple of these and then just tie it off. So I'm just going to go back through the back of that. I'm going to make sure it's nice and tight. And then tie it off, if it'll let me. And there we go. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit loose because we're going to be gluing it down regardless, so come on. My goodness. The scissors are all blunt. There we go. So we now have our pocket. And we could obviously put this in so that it's also a tuck spot or a pocket or whatever. I'm just going to put it in and glue it down. So let's find a page. I'm going to put it here. And I'm also going to grab a doily. And like I said, I don't like I don't like this the fact that this page is upside down kind of thing. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of a doily to it, just to kind of cover the fact that that page is upside down. It's going to cover a lot of the fact that I've just done some stitching, but still, I just want to make sure that it's not glaringly obvious that it's upside down. I'm just going to glue that on like so, and then I'll cut it off once it's set. And we can obviously look through our stuff and see if I can add any other kind of embellishments to this. So I could add another piece of paper with writing on it, or I could cut something out like that. That would be cute if that fit there. I'm just going to kind of take these apart because it's a shame there's nothing on this little bit because that would have been cool. I could cut out a fairy. Would that fit on there? So I've not really wasted too much of the other page, but I kind of like the fact that she's not attached to anything, and then she's got that, so I could most likely I'll cut those out as embellishments rather than using them as like full-on pages. So I'm just going to go cut this little fairy guy out. Well, she's not a guy, but you know what I mean. There we go. I'll chuck those little bits away. I'm going to keep this part though, purely because I'm going to cut that bit there off. It's pretty and I can still use it in the page if I, for instance, tear it off like so. I can still kind of use that as a decoration or even maybe a tuck spot. Right, so now I need to cut this off. Let's see, because I didn't put glue on there specifically so that I could kind of cut around. The thread. Sorry if I'm not in camera, I'm trying to see what I'm doing as well. And obviously I don't want to cut my thread, so what I'm going to do is add a little bit of colour to this doily, because it's not really showing up much. I just want to kind of make it known that it's there. And I'm going to just fix this little bit here. And then let's see if our fairy fits. And she does not. Okay then. Let's see, because our book had stuff in it too. Because it had pictures in it. None of them really would kind of fit in the space. I'm gonna have to just leave it as is, I think. Well, actually, that's pretty cool because it's actually got the poem, or the spell rather, that I done. Aye, so it's still got the. This is the page that has Meriwether's spell to protect Aurora, to try and break Maleficent's curse. So I'm going to cut that out. So that was quite handy. So I'm only going to cut the actual spell out because that's the only bit that's really needed there. There we go. So let's see. I don't really want to cover the entire thing, but it's really pretty. It says, if through this wicked witch's trick a spindle should your finger prick, not in death but just in sleep, the fateful prophecy you'll keep, and from this slumber you shall wake, when true love's kiss the spell shall break. really pretty. Then you turn around and it says die, but it does not fit. So I don't think that would fit either. So I think I'm just going to have to leave it as it is. So, right here. I think it looks nice anyway. So I'm just going to take my Pritt stick and cover the whole back in glue. And I think this will probably be the last thing that we do today, because judging, I'm not being able to judge at the time because I accidentally hit a stop when I meant to hit pause at one point, and I don't know how long this video is. So the odds are I went way past my time, because time has no meaning when you're crafting. So yeah, I've probably went way beyond the time that I'm supposed to be. 30 minutes is not very long when you're actually working away and crafting and stuff. It's not actually that long. So let me know if you don't mind, like if you like the longer videos, or if you would prefer that I try to stick to roughly 30 minutes. Let me know if it's just something you like an hour is just too long and you would rather have the 30 minutes. Let me know, or if you're quite happy for me to kind of ramble on and continue. Let me know. Oh, just about dropped that. So I'm thinking I might add a little bit of washi tape to this, just to kind of see how that looks. These were the only washi tapes that the pound shop had, which I'm not a huge fan of all of them. I don't like too colourful tape, but no, I don't like it. What about up here? Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of like the mega colourful washi tapes. I like browns and grungy and like writing and stuff like that. So yeah, I probably will not use these, but I'll just include them in the giveaway, so whoever gets the journal can get these washi tapes as well. There is 5 of them. They are pretty. I don't think I will use them. So that was the last thing that we've put in today. So we've got our double pocket, and then we've got our other pocket somewhere. I've lost it. Where did it go? And then we've got our other pocket here, and then we do have our hidden journal spot here. Doesn't want to open now. Why? Go. There we go. There we are. So we've got our hidden journal spot. I love that. I really love how that like comes out, and then you've got so much space to write on, and then it's just hidden away. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't add some distress ink to this before putting it down, because it just kind of doesn't fit in as well as it would if I had. But yeah, I think we've done pretty well today. We've got 3 new items in our journal, and it's looking good. But yeah, definitely check out parts 1 through something, which I will link below, and definitely check out Lorree's. She did a soft spine journal, a soft cover journal, and she finished hers in like 3 videos. She's way ahead of me, but yeah, so definitely check out her videos, which again I will link the playlist below, which will have all of her videos in it. But yeah, let me know if you have any ideas for the journal, any tuck spots or what do you call it, journal thingies. I think I'm going to use this as a pocket at some point because that's really pretty like that. But yeah, so let me know if you have any ideas for the journal, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. I wish you well, and God bless. Bye.